What's up, guys? This is Farouk from the African Fighters. Today we have a very special guest, familiar face in Raufeon Stots. He has been here before, been a while, champ. He is the bantamweight #3 rank, and he's going to be competing for the title April 23rd this year. Yeah, champ. Good to have you here with us.
Yeah, man, it's good to be back finally. I've been kind of waiting to get a fight, and I finally got one, and it's a big one, and I'm excited.
Great. How is the family and how I can hear the kids around in my ground?
Yeah.
Hope they're doing great.
They're doing great. Yeah, I ended up coming back here for like a week. I was doing majority of my camp in Vegas, and I came back here for a week so I can see my family and train with the guys here at Team Metros in Houston. So it's been good times.
Great. At least an extra motivation before the title fight.
Yeah, exactly. Family time, and then I'll kind of reset, get loved on by my kids and my wife and stuff. So then I'll go back to the grind.
Fantastic. Last time we spoke to you, you were preparing for the fight with Magomedov, the Russian, the guy everybody believes is going to destroy you, defeat you, and get the title shot. But you went in and dominated Magomed. And everybody was like, wow, who is this guy? Those who don't know you get to know you that day. They were like, okay, well, we got a new contender for the title. So can you just walk us through that fight, the extra motivation you got from the fight, knowing that you are able to put away one of the biggest guy, or the so-to-be biggest guy in the division. So how was that feeling for you after the fight? And what was your mindset into just walk us through the whole process before and after the fight.
Yeah, so excited to fight Magomed, just because, like you said, he was highly touted. Everybody thought he was going to run through the division. Everybody, had pretty good things to say about him. And not that they didn't have good things to say about me, but they just hadn't seen me tested before like that. So so going into the fight, I knew a lot of people were like underestimating me, but like I'm cool. I'm cool being the underdog. I don't really like phase me, because I think is like it's me and another person in there, regardless of what you did before, regardless of what I did before, that night is what matters. And I know that I come to show up on fight night. So that stuff didn't really bother me. I did, try to get people to bet and make some money, on it. But yeah, so up into the fight, everybody was like, man, I've seen a lot of like kind of interviews or predictions or whatever, and a lot of guys were like, yeah, Magomed is just, he's all these great things that he is, which he is, but they just know, they just don't know me. And the general public, I said that before, it takes them a while to realize who good, because people got to fight, and we got to set these fights up. So yeah, then going into the fight, even Magomed, I feel like Magomed had a very high, he thought very highly of himself, rightfully so. And I feel like he didn't feel me as much of a threat, so going into the fight, I wanted to let him know that he was in a fight. He was in there with somebody very skilled and very dangerous. I wanted to let him know that off the rip, that's why I kept kind of jawing back and forth with him in the fight. Just to let him know, you're not gonna walk over me. I'm not gonna give you nothing for free. Like, you're gonna be fighting. And that's where I feel like I thrive, like in those fight or flight, situations. I'm there to stay, and I'm there, kind of to mess you up. You know what I mean? So
throughout the fight, I want to say something, but carry on.
Oh yeah. Throughout the fight, I felt like his confidence started like really high or whatever. And then like soon as the fight started, and he kind of like felt me, I felt his confidence like slowly, like deteriorate, or like, him just start doubting himself a little bit, within the fight. And like after I almost like synced in that rear naked, I was like, man, I like got this guy, kind of figured out. And I gassed my arms out, and he got on top, but I also wanted to like send a message that, I can regroup and you know, find a way through those situations. You know, so I could have won the fight without, you know, getting back to my feet, but you know, I wanted to finish the fight kind of back on my feet to finish a dominating performance, and it was super exciting, man. It was like gratifying to like beat an opponent of that caliber, and yeah, it was great all around.
Yeah, great victory. We also posted the submission attempt. You almost submitted him like you just mentioned on our YouTube channel. Got us a lot of views, but Bellator took the video down after 2 months.
Yeah.
So, so what do you think about the Russians in general? I believe since the coming of Habib, Magomedov, everybody's attaching that so much hype to all Russians. When you have the name Magomedov or Magomed or those Russian names, they just believe they're going to come in and destroy anybody put in front of them.
I feel like the Russians, though, are very, you know, they're very skilled, and their like background, like where they're raised or whatever, creates kind of a mindset of like a grinding perseverance kind of mindset, where they don't get too high or too low on things. You know what I mean? Which I feel like is good for MMA or fighting, being in the realm. Yeah, their mindset is like, you know, you know, it is what it is. I'll still, you know, do what I do. And I'll keep pushing forward. You know, most of them are very good grapplers. And you know, I feel like it's from where it's because of where they live. You know, I also feel like I came from like kind of a rough, you know, upbringing or whatever, and I feel like that breeds a certain type of attitude. You know, that it
determination
like
as
the
well.
chaos, you don't get too wrapped up in like chaos, chaos going on around you. Before that Magomed fight, it was probably the most just I had like a lot going on. Like before the fight, I had to like move. I had to I moved states.
You told us, I remember, you told us you were thinking of moving, and all that,
and I sold a house, and I was like in the middle of like moving from different states and like going to weddings and you know, doing a lot, which, you know, some people are like, oh man, you're doing too much, you need to settle in. But you know, kind of with that comes along with that mindset, I don't like make excuses for myself ever. You know what I mean? You know, I take challenges as they are, and I just, you know, keep pushing forward, and I take that, you know, a lot, kind of like how the Russians do. So I think the Russians, like, there's validity. It's valid that people, you know, hold them to high regard, because the way they think and the way they, you know, approach the game is like really good. So you know, but at the same time, you know, there's other good people, and there's other, you know, good, you know, the Nigerians are really, you know, taking off, you know, mindset.
Also, most people out there didn't know your wrestling background as well. They didn't know you're a college champion as well. They didn't know that. So seeing you dominate Magomed was kind of surprising to them.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and you know, that is what it is. I mean, it'll come in time, you know. He's had some like high profile fights, so so he was able to prove himself. You know, early he beat Peter Yan early, so you know he's got a lot of notoriety from that, and you know, that stuff will come. You know, especially like after I get this belt, you know, a lot more eyes will be.
Absolutely.
More, you
know. Before this fight, most people believe you were you should be the #1 contender for the title before even fighting Magomed. So fighting Magomed. Now we have the Grand Prix coming up, and you defeated Magomed. So how confident are you? How will you say that win means to you going into this tournament?
Just like pretty much lets everybody know how good I am. Well, lets you know too, or just confirms like how good I am. But I can't like look at that like, oh, okay, I got this tournament won. With that. So with me beating Magomed comes the added pressure of now people thinking they got to fight up to that level, you know. So I'm a higher threat to them, you know. So yeah, since they're figuring out more about me, they're, you know, preparing more. They're doing stuff tougher things. You know what I mean?
Does that add extra pressure to you, or does that make you work harder than you used to do?
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta adjust that. I know people are gonna come at me, harder. They're gonna bring their best fight, especially now. They did before, but now they're like, okay, this guy is, pick to win it or pick, very high. So I know they're gonna bring their best, and I welcome that. That's kind of what I'm here for. I'm here to like make good fights and provide for my family and take on these challenges and run through them. Like I'm here for all that. So I'm excited.
Yeah. So, but before the Grand Prix was announced, you've been calling for that for a while. With all your interviews, you've been mentioning that calling the president. You want Bantamweight Grand Prix for your division, and people were like, "Why not go straight and get the belt?" At some point, I also said that on Instagram under your comment. I wanted to fight for the title because I felt it would take a long time. We don't know what will happen, and you just there waiting and not knowing what to do and how to progress. So we just wanted to get the belt. But luckily, the Grand Prix is happening this year. You're supposed to fight your teammate, Sergio Pettis, defending champion. So he's injured. We'll go into the detail of that. He's no longer your opponent. So how did you react? How do you actually fight when it was announced that you're going to fight? I believe you knew somehow that you're going to get to fight Pettis at some point in time. So when the fight was announced for the title, how did you take that?
So I was like waiting for like just a matchup. I was just waiting for a matchup, So I was like kind of on my manager at Sucker Punch, like, hey man, you got any news? Any news yet? Any news yet? And then he hit me up, like he called me. I dropped off my son at daycare, and then he called me, and I was like, oh snap, this is it. Like we're gonna have an opponent. Okay. And so he hit me up and he was like, okay, hey, we gotta fight. And I was like, yes, okay, we gotta fight. Awesome. And then he was like, and the fight's gonna be in Hawaii. And I was like, oh man, that's awesome. That's like we're gonna have a trip, like it's gonna be great, And then freaking he was like, yeah, so it's for the title. And I was like, he was like, yeah, it's against Sergio. And I was like, man, messed up, man. That's messed up. So I had to it took me a while to wrap my head around that or whatever. I was just like, I was oh, all the way high. And I was like, oh man, I got to fight Sergio. So I was battling with that for a minute, man, for probably the Skype fight was scheduled. We had 3 or 3 weeks we were scheduled to fight or whatever. And I was just like, man, I just felt like a punk for taking something of his or wanting to take something of his.
Was that the reason why you were a bit reluctant to call out Pettis after the victory against Magomed? Because you didn't call him directly. You seem like your brother, your teammate. You didn't want to fight for the belt.
I don't ever want to fight Sergio,
Yes.
But I understand, that we there's only one champion. So I understand, that has to happen. But if there was other options or whatever, I was willing to take those other options.
Was that one of the reasons why you're calling for the Grand Prix, so that you can go through other routes without meeting him?
I was trying to, because I mean, I trained with him a lot. This dude is a good dude, man. Okay. Sergio's a good dude, I don't meet a lot of good dudes, genuine dudes, he's one of them. He's one of the good dudes.
Fantastic. So are you guys still training together, or you've moved gym now?
Okay, so this camp, because I was having to fight Sergio before, I had to move my camp to Extreme Couture in Vegas. And so then the fight had so Sergio actually tore his ACL. So he tore his ACL. So he called me and was like, hey man, I'm sorry, man. Tore my ACL, so I'll probably be out from 6 to 9 months. 6 to 9 months, they're saying. So I'm probably not gonna be able to fight. I'm not gonna probably even be in a tournament. Yeah. So and I was like, God, dog, I don't want it like this, And so yeah, I was training in Vegas, and then I had I'm pretty frugal or with how I spend my money or whatever. And this camp costing me more than I, You know, so I just talked with my coach, and I'm actually gonna see Duke this weekend or this week in Vegas. I talked to Scott Cushman, and I was like, hey man, I've already started my camp out here, so I'm gonna just finish it kind of out here because I already like spent the money for Airbnbs and cars and planes and, you know, food and stuff out there. Okay. So I was like, I'm just gonna finish it out here, and then I'll just come back after. So I talked to Eric Nixick, you know, and he's cool. And I wanted to come out here before, you know, to cross train. But he's, you know, it's cool for me to come out. He gave me a home. He's been very generous, you know, with his time. Is got a bunch of teammates out there for me to train. So I'm gonna.
Is Eric Nixick going to be part of your coaching team for the fight? Is he going to be part of your team? Okay, awesome.
Coach, he's going to corner me for this fight.
Oh, no, okay, for this fight. Okay, great. So after the fight with Pettis cancelled, you got a new opponent, the number 2 rank, Juan Archuleta. Yeah. You've been calling him for a while as well. You wanted a fight with him a long time ago. So now you have Juan.
That was another like bittersweet. Like I was like sad for Serge, but I was like so happy that I get to fight Juan Archuleta. Okay. You know, I feel like he hasn't wanted to fight me unless it was for a title. You know, so like I was pretty sure he was gonna take this fight. You know, because they announced that it was for the interim belt. So,
yes.
Yeah. So I'm like super excited, you know, and this is a fight that I can like get behind and like, you know, put my all, you know, my full heart into, you know, beating somebody up, you know.
Yes.
I don't know. So, the 10 cap Spaniard, you know, so I want to, you know, and I can talk shit again, you know.
Not feeling bad.
Yeah, so I'm excited. Yeah.
So now the interim title now, is it going to be, since Pettis is out of this tournament, like most likely out of the tournament, so do you think at some point in time it's going to be converted to become the main undisputed title, or is it going to be interim title throughout the tournament, or you're not sure for now?
In my head, you know, I'm gonna hold on to the belt until Serge gets back. So I'm thinking they're gonna do it'll be an interim. I'm thinking they're gonna do an interim until he gets back.
Okay.
It's especially if it's not within. I don't feel like they should strip him if it's not
up to a year.
Like a year, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. And so then after you know, I'm the interim and he gets back and he's healthy, you know, he has enough time to prepare, then you know we can do like a
undisputed, yes.
Yeah, an undisputed thing. Yeah. In my eyes, he's still the champion. You know, he just had it was even a freak accident. They showed me the video of the accident. You know, it was just like a freak thing, you know. So yeah, we'll
wish him quick recovery as well. We'd like to see that fight in the future. Although I know as being brothers, being friends, it's still going to be somehow for you guys, but the fans want to see that fight. I don't know why the audience always like to see teammates fight. I don't know.
I know everybody did, like they were like, oh man, that, but I was like, whew, thanks.
This is better for you. So I'm going to, I believe you know this fact. Definitely you're going to know it. This will be your first pay-per-view in Bellator, right? I think I'm right. Headlining this card.
Oh yeah, that'll be
So how yeah, you're the main event. I think you're headlining.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
You know.
I didn't know that.
Really, Champ? I thought you know. I think there's two types of fight.
With when it was Sergio.
Yes.
But I thought they moved me and Juan down.
Okay, I'm not sure then. I thought it's still the main event.
Yeah. I think it's the co-main, which is again first. Like
yes, okay.
You know, that'll be a first for me. I ain't never been to co-main.
I didn't do my fact checking very well. I was so excited to tell you about it being the main event. Okay, another fun fact again is going to be you winning the title against Juan is going to make you the second African-born champion in Bellator. I don't know if you know about that. So we're looking forward to that as well. And the first Nigerian Bellator champion. In history. So we're excited. The fans are behind you. The Nigerian audience are looking forward to this fight. So tell us, walk us through this fight process. What are you thinking about going to this fight? What are you expecting from Juan? He's a former champion at some point in time, the Bellator Bantamweight champion. So it's going to be a tough fight. We know that. So without giving so much about your game plan, so how are you preparing for this fight after losing your previous opponent to this?
Oh, my bad. The gist of this pretty much like, I'm here for a fight, you know, I'm here for a challenge. And I feel like Juan is not that type of person to, like, he don't go and seek out challenges. He tries to find ways or around getting, you know, to what he wants, which is like to be revered as, you know, one of the best. I feel like he goes and like finds challenges and I'm a challenge that he didn't want to, he was trying to, you know, so, you know, for me, I'm going in there and I'm doing whatever I want to him and I'm going to make him, you know, fight, you know what I mean? So, that's pretty much my whole game plan, you know, I'm going in there and I'm gonna make him fight, you know, I feel like I'm a better wrestler. I feel like I'm a better, striker. I feel like he has a cardio advantage. And don't get me wrong, he has really good striking and really good wrestling. You know, I just feel like I'm better. You know, and I'm sure he feels the same way. You know.
Yes.
But yeah, so I'm going in, but I know for a fact I'm a better fighter. Like I'll go in there and I'll like when things get tough, you know, I won't back up and, you know, take a step backwards or, you know, give you an inch, you know, I'm in there, you know, for the whole 25 if it has to be. And I'm ready for that. I'm ready for a challenge. I'm ready for, you know, somebody to try to, you know, take me off this mountain I'm on. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Okay. One thing you mentioned about him trying to find his way past you and not take the fight. Do you think that's as a result of him, the pride of being an ex-champion, believing you know what the fight with him, or is it that he's scared of you, or he knows the skills level are different? You're higher than him, or you're better than him, and you can get the victory, so he doesn't want to fight. So
you know, I think it comes down to him, like him knowing that I'm good, and him knowing that I'm a threat to him winning. You know what I mean? Whereas like a lot of fights that he took, I feel like he believed he was gonna win, or he believed he had a good chance of winning. So I don't want to say he's like scared of me. He's scared of the challenge of me. He's okay. Like if I bring the fight to him, he's scared that I have an opportunity, you know, to take everything from him. You know, and you know, I'm the opposite. Like I feel like I want them challenges. I like test me, you know what I mean? Like I'm that, you know what I mean? I want all the smoke. Like bring it, you know what I mean? Because it's gonna make me better no matter what, you know what I mean? So so that's where I feel, you know. So he's scared of the challenge of me, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Thank you. Chum, just give me a second. Sorry about that.
No problem.
I'll back shortly.
Yeah. Come on, Africans!